What's up, everybody? Ben Razzie here for Odd Chopper. I'm back. College football is back. Week 10. We are rolling on now. We're getting to the thick of it. The end of the season. The playoff picture is getting more and more focused with each week, but we're here to put together a parlay, 3 picks, throw them together, try to hit the difficult but high upside ticket. We've done it before. We can do it again. Let's do it this week. Welcome to Odd Chopper. More importantly than all of that, if you're here for the first time, welcome. All things betting, college football, NFL, NBA, college basketball, whatever you want, we've got you. Like button, subscribe, get into these picks. So, you know the drill. We're going to set the foundation. Got to find that foundational piece to get things started. And we've got the first one here on the board with the Nebraska Cornhuskers right at noon. So let's get this one out of the way, put the win on the board to start. Okay, what's going on with Nebraska? They're actually not that bad. I started my CFB season in frustration because I bet them against Minnesota and they gave that game away. In hindsight, it looks even worse because they're a good team. They're a decent team. 5-3, 3-2. They've got a lot to play for. They've won 5 of 6. They got destroyed by Michigan, which is common around the Big Ten. They went into Illinois and won handily. They had 5 fumbles last week and still handled Purdue. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Nebraska knows what they're doing. I think their quarterback change actually has helped them. They're kind of almost a triple option team at this point. Lower the variance, stop turning the ball over, and let's get in and get out here. It's a 34.5 point total. You don't need a lot of points because you're playing Michigan State, who is awful, who beat Richmond and Central Michigan to start the year. And since then, they have lost a coach, and that's about all they got because they got no wins. They're down to not even down to. They're running out of quarterbacks that they can try because they can't find the answer. It looks like they're going with their third stringer now. They have no offense. They're not a great defense. They're a bad, bad football team. I know they're at home. That's the one advantage that they have. But honestly, is that enough? I really don't think so. I'm not sure where Michigan State has the advantage over any team in the Big Ten. And Nebraska actually has some things working. They can limit the turnovers and avoid the stupid fluky plays. Nebraska should be able to gut this out. I think 3 is a gift. I will lay the 3 points on the road in a game where the first to 20 might be enough for us. So Nebraska sets the stage for this parlay. Now, we've got 2 more. We've got to find 2 more picks to put together here, but I will say, I'm going to name 6 states. You've heard me say this before. If I name your state, listen up. If I don't, just fast forward to the second pick. New Jersey, Ohio, Virginia, Iowa, Colorado, and Kentucky. If I just said your state, you are fortunate because you've got some money coming your way via bonus bets via Bet365. If you don't play over there, use the link below. Take 2 minutes out of your day. Throw in $10. Bet 5 of it. Win or bet it on the parlay. Why not? Bet Nebraska. It doesn't matter because if you win that bet, that's great. You're getting 150 in bonus bets. If you lose that bet, you're getting 150 in bonus bets. It is that simple. You do have to be 21 plus. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. But take advantage of that. Now, back to these picks. We've got to find the second team. We're going to do that right now. Let's scroll to the board. Here we go. We don't have to scroll too far yet. Here we go. Okay. A little Georgia Tech action. You know what? We're going a little even more aggressive. Georgia Tech's going to win the game. Plus 110, Georgia Tech money line. This team is insane. I have the over on their win total, which just makes the sweat even crazier because every time I think I'm dead, they win a crazy game. And every time I think I've won, they lose a crazy game. So here's their stretch lately. They lost at home to Bowling Green somehow. Then they went on the road and beat Miami after Miami could have knelt down. They were the other team in that game. A true miracle. Then they lose by double digits to Boston College at home. And then they beat North Carolina in a wild shootout game with almost 100 points. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine of what Georgia Tech team we're going to get. But this is a team where if they just limit, they don't have to play their A-plus game because they are better than Virginia. They are a better football team than Virginia is. I don't know if this is indicative of anything. I will say Georgia Tech is 2-1 on the road. I think that's probably just random. But Haynes King knows what he's doing. Those transfers on the outside worked out. They brought in big-time names from the SEC, things like that. A lot of these guys not only crack the rotation, but are their leading, playmakers and skill position players on this offense. They can run the ball. And Virginia Their offensive line is a mess. I don't believe in that offense whatsoever. I think there'll be distinct advantages for Georgia Tech trying to run the ball. And then stylistically, Virginia doesn't really have a prolific rushing attack, and that's probably where I would want to attack Georgia Tech. I just don't see this being a good matchup. And Virginia is a tough team to evaluate because if you look at their record, they're 2-6. They seem terrible. They beat William and Mary, then they knocked off North Carolina and maybe one of the biggest upsets of the year. They have so many close losses, 3 points, 3 points, 1 point. Like you look and you're just like, maybe this team is actually very solid and they just had some bad variance. I kind of think they are clawing to more respectable losses than it would be indicated of. I don't like this Virginia team. Again, stylistically, I think Georgia Tech has multiple advantages. They have to limit the turnovers. It's kind of like Nebraska in that way. If the game is played straight up, I like Georgia Tech's roster makeup more than Virginia's. I don't think home field will play a huge advantage here. Give me Georgia Tech, the Yellow Jackets, as the second team on the board. Speaking of the board, I always want to mention with all these, no matter what you're doing, make sure you're shopping your odds. Go to Odd Shopper, the live odds screen. It's free. Take 2 seconds out of your day. Anytime that you are betting something, just make sure you're getting the best price. If you want more picks, we've always got that. We've got our premium tools, our market-based approach. You should always search and check that stuff out. But I just want to give a quick shout out to the odds screen. You want to get the best number. You have to do that over time. It makes all the difference, and it can take you from a negative to a positive in a year just by shopping and getting the same price, betting the same thing you were going to bet the whole time. So Nebraska is on the board. Georgia Tech is on the board. Now we take a break. We go, we get some dinner, we do what we need to do. We come back for the final game of the day for the parlay. This is where the sweat begins, or ends, I should say. Scrolling. To the ACC again, to the road favorite again, to the Miami Hurricanes again. This team, again, the whole ACC, if you told me that we just said, okay, no more, get rid of them, I wouldn't stand in your way because they're very confusing teams. But Miami, they're starting to take money, so that's step one. This is moving. I don't know if it's going to touch 6. I certainly don't know if it'll touch 7. 5.5 is fine at this point. Miami is just a good team. They should wallop them on the offensive and defensive line. They've got dudes. Van Dyke is back. He knows what he's doing. Everything with Miami stylistically, roster-wise, big advantages. Now, Miami's done some very, very questionable things out there. This is a team, I don't like their coach for obvious reasons. Gave the game away against Georgia Tech, lost to North Carolina. They beat Clemson, they beat Virginia. The underlying metrics are better than the scores, in my opinion. This is a team that is consistently winning on both sides of the ball. They have a great pressure rate. NC State is not going to be able to cause any disruptions to this Miami team. Another team just take care of the ball, and we're going to move the ball because this NC State defense is giving up production to all sorts of teams. I don't know how much Marshall football you've seen, but they allowed Cam Fancher to throw for over 300 yards. They gave up like 40 points in that game. Let me get the exact point total. I have it here. Yeah, 48-41. It was a win for NC State, but you just can't be doing that. MJ Morris on the year, the NC State quarterback, 5 touchdowns, 6 picks, doesn't move. I don't really see it, to be honest. Against this Miami front, Miami's not a banged up team. I don't see a lot of, big problems. They've got some guys in the defensive side, but it's a deep team, honestly. I don't see any key pieces that are missing. I look at this. I think that the market is telling you all you need to know. Now, you don't want to be late to these numbers. Would it be better if we had 4.5? Of course, no doubt about it. But I think Miami at 5.5 is still the right side and still the right number. I expect them to just simply outperform NC State. I know they're on the road. I know they're a fluky team. I know they have a high variance nature because they do really, really, user error type things. Too much dominance up front. They can get the running game going if they want. Van Dyke will make plays. I think Miami's defense has the advantages. So to round us out here, Miami Hurricanes on the board as the third piece of the parlay. Look at it before we get on out of here. Put it all together. See what we've got. Nebraska. Georgia Tech on the money line. Miami minus 5.5. You put that together, you're getting over 6.5 to 1. Nice little payday if we can somehow cash this ticket. It's not going to be easy. No doubt about that. But it is absolutely doable. And I do like this spot for these three teams. Appreciate everybody as always. Good luck this Saturday. Whether you're tailing this, fading this, or betting something else, I hope you're cashing your tickets as well. And thanks again for tuning in here at Odd Chop. We want you as part of this team, whether you're watching college football or any other sport. But in the meantime, cash this ticket. Hit that like button on your way out. Enjoy the games on Saturday and stay tuned for more content each and every day here at Odd Chopper.